Puff. In this case, a cheese puff. You know, it's a French Choux Pastry brought on by the French settlers here. And of course, we take it and make it our own. It's a savory Choux Pastry, meaning it's light, it's airy. It is, you know, crispy on the outside. The inside supposed to be soft and creamy inside because the inside have a filling in it, right? It comes in 3 forms. We've got the, you know, this one is the cheese puff. Then you've got your chicken puff, you know, with chicken paste inside. Is flavored, although it's kind of looking similar to the cheese one, but you don't know. And finally, you have your tuna, right? Tuna. So you got cheese, chicken, fish, in a sense. So tuna puff, cheese puff, chicken puff. If there's any kind of other puffs here in Trinidad and Tobago, let me know in the comments below. But this is the typical tree you'll get most bakeries or places that sell these kind of, you know, cheese puff, these kind of puffs, so to speak. The French term, I think, is Gougeres, right? But, you know, here in the Caribbean, we take what was brought here and we kind of give our own twist to it. And the twist in our case would be the filling inside. Ooh, what's up, Trinbago Vibes peeps? Welcome to another episode of Trinbago Vibes. Yes, we are cheese puff hopping in a little bit, but behind me is the Poui tree. And right now, you know, Poui in season here in Trinidad and Tobago. And stick around at the end of this one, you know, we do a small little montage of the Poui on its splendor and beauty. Yeah, I kind of recording this a little late, so it may not be in full splendor and beauty. But this is the first time in a long time. Well, actually, this is the first time I can remember that so many trees blossom at the same time with, you know, that amazing carpet beauty, right? Let's jump into the cheese puff hopping. Trinbago Vibes. Right, so our first stop is at Nichossa's, you know, off the Gulfview Link Road. Is next to Better Value. And this is their cheese puff, you know. Ooh, it's soft on the next side. I'll show you the filling. Yeah. So this is 11 TT, about $1.60 US. So it's a huge puff. It's like almost like a sandwich, and the bottom is soft. The top is, you know, appears to be hard and crispy. The cheese paste inside is flavorful. It's tasty. I think it's a decent, you know, cheese paste to puff ratio. So in this one, we're gonna rank these cheese puffs, you know, in terms of first, second, third, based on where we get them. So we're kicking this off at Nichossa's. Right now they're at the first position, but as we go along and try different puffs, it will vary accordingly, right? So on to the next spot. So this is Nichossa's. Not bad. Like I mentioned earlier, they also have chicken and they also have tuna, and we could do that in our next rounds. Let me know in the comments below. But for now, this one, cheese puff. Yeah. All right, so we have the second puff from Massy stores, right? And this is 6 TT, so it's under $1 US, about 85 cents US. Yeah, so this is the one I would have shown you all earlier, you know. It's a little smaller than the one in Nichossa's, but they do have a nice cheese paste filling, seasoned well, creamy. The puff is harder on the outside. Inside a little soft, but it's not as, you know, soft and airy as I like a puff to be. But, you know, the cheese filling is nice. So, in the ranking so far, I'll still have Nichossa's as 1, Massy stores as number 2. And we're going with overall here. Alright, on to the next, you know, puff place. We're giving me puff 1 today. Right, spot number 3 is puff and stuff on Circular Road. Yeah, so far the 3 spots we tackled more or less in San Fernando itself. You know, Nichossa's is more Gulfview. Well, Massy, you can get Massy stores anywhere. Most Massy stores will have their bakery section and they'll have their puffs there. And then puff and stuff is on Circular Road right here in San Fernando. And this one is 16 TT. It's like they come in the frozen section. And so 16 TTs are roughly what, $2.25 US, thereabout. Yeah, so this is their cheese. Now this is a big puff. The one at Nichossa was big, but it was kind of flat. This one, and all this in the puff to cheese paste ratio kind of thing there. So I mean, yeah, the top again, nice hard top, soft underneath. So the mine is a good puff, but the cheese paste inside it kind of basic. It's not as flavored as the one we got in Massy or Nichossa's. So yeah, this is number 3 on the list, and is the rankings have changed so far. So far it's Nichossa's, then Massy, then puff and stuff. Let's press. By the way, if you know any other like spot that sells some real good cheese puff, let me know in the comments below. But the next one is the Royale Parlour right here on Royale Road. Alright, and I suspect this one will be a little more pricier than the rest of them, although I find puff and stuff one was, you know, a bit pricey. Alright, so the Parlour Royale is closed, so we'll have to tack back some other time. So let's move on to our next spot in this cheese puff hopping episode, Trinbago Vibes. Again, puffed out thread. So right now we're on Keith Street right here in San Fernando, you know, close to the San Fernando market, to Attong's bakery. You know, it is $4.50 for their cheese puff. It's still less than $1 US, so let me say 65 cents US they are about. Let me just open it to show you all the inside. Yep, Attong's bakery. The puff pastry itself, closer to bread like, but the cheese paste, creamy, seasoned well. You get hints of, you know, chive, some bits of carrot, something. Not bad for a small puff, you know. So based on the ranking so far for me, still Nichossa's, Massy, I'll give Attong's, and then I'll give puff and stuff. Simply because the flavoring in this one and the price range, this is a quarter the price. A puff and stuff one, yeah. Yeah, on to the next one. Oh, spot number 5, Affan's Bakery. Yeah, we just came from Attong's Bakery on Keith Street. This is Affan's Bakery right here on Irving Street, right in San Fernando. And this one is 9 TT, so $1.25 they're both US. Yeah. The nice thing about it, this is what we call it, Choux Pastry. I have that little squirrel thing there. But by the way, right, just note that eggs are beaten into these dough. Although that cheese puff is not vegetarian, for those of you who, you know, when you are fasting or thinking this is supposed to be vegan, it is not. Right, so this is the cheese puff. So yeah, the puff itself has like a homemade style bread flavor kind of thing, and the cheese paste filling is similar to puff and stuff. So overall it's an okay puff. So far in the rankings for me, in terms of my flavor profile overall, we still have Nichossa at the top, followed by Massy, then we had Attong's, then we have puff and stuff, and now we have the fifth spot. Yeah, Affan's. More puffs to go. Trinbago Vibes. By the way, this is again my flavor profile. For your taste buds it might be different, so don't, you know, fight me down in the comments, say nah, this was an unfair rating and all kind of thing. This is based on my taste buds, right? Yours might be different and your preference will be different to mine. I am basing it on what I like. That being said, still thank you all for, you know, tuning in and hitting the like button, because I will be puffed. I mean, I already puffed, so I'm gonna get more puff, you know. I should stop with these, you know, cringe type sayings. Anyway, yeah, on to the next spot. All right, so our 6th stop is Linda's Bakery, you know, and this is their cheese puff. Is 7 TT, roughly $1 US, you know. I'll show you the opening here. Not much for an opening, but you know, we'll bite it and see. Yeah, so Linda's. This cheese paste is flavorful as well. It a touch elevated from the like the basic cheese paste that we had at Puff and Stuff and Affan's. So, you know, I would put this in 4th place, actually. So it's still Nichossa's at the top, then Massy stores, then Attong's, then Linda's, then Puff and Stuff, finally Affan's. So yeah, 6 puffs. We have one more to try. Let's start back to the Parlour Royale on Royal Road in San Fernando, and hopefully we get, you know, the final puff to try. Trinbago Vibes. Alright, so apparently the Royal Parlour doesn't have puffs normally. Like during the week they might have them on Saturdays, but they are followers of the channel, and because of that I got a sandwich. Yeah, compliments the Royal Parlour. Let's go try this out. Now I'm saying the Royal Parlour before, right? But it's the Parlour Royale, and they make everything from scratch. All their breads, all their pastry, they do it themselves, I think. So this is the sriracha sandwich. The price I saw was 53 TT. Let me just give you all a preview. Don't worry, we'll come back one of these days and cover them. But you got fried chicken, lettuce, and this is sriracha and their signature sauce. And the bread, it already feeling like a little different from like regular bread that you will normally get. So yeah, Trinbago Vibes, shout out them. This is basically on the house. You know, we keep things transparent here, so shout out, you know, the people at the Parlour Royale. You know, the bread nice and soft, the chicken itself very tender, and the sriracha a little spicy. It's not overly spicy, so you again that spice in the back of your tongue a little bit, but not overpowering. You get the crunch from the little chicken on the outside, and then it's tender on the inside, with the softness of the bun. It combines everything well. So not bad. Parlour Royale, not bad at all. Right, I did say we have, you know, a 7th puff to try. So although we did not get any at the Parlour Royale, right, this is the 7th and final puff in this one. This is from Maria's Bakery, you know, right here in Woodbrook. There's also Maria's Bakery in South Park, in Taruba. But yeah, so this is their puff. There's a flat puff like a sandwich, you know. It is 12 TT, so about $1.70 US thereabout. And yeah, the final one. Dread, I eat real puffs in this one. The puff itself, a little, you know, the top is decently, you know, it's crispy or hard, but so is the bottom. It's like almost, if I think, kind of like a bread, a thin piece of bread now. The filling inside, however, the cheese paste is flavored well. So if there's any saving grace in this, is the cheese paste itself. Although it's looking like plenty here, I just find the texture of the puff with the cheese paste, it not balanced properly. So out of everything here, I would probably place this 5th on the list, you know. To summarize the list right now for this cheese puff hopping episode: number 7, Affan's Bakery; number 6, Puff and Stuff; number 5, Maria's Bakery; number 4, Linda's Bakery; number 3, Attong's Bakery; number 2, Massy Stores; and number 1, Nichossa's. Mind you, Massy and Nichossa's could probably interchange a little bit, eh? Yeah, and that is the final verdict in this cheese puff hopping episode. Right now we are next to the Queen's Park Savannah, so let's wrap it up with a small Poui montage. Trinbago Vibes.